I'm Jay, welcome to the workshop, and today we're going to show you how we prep our rooftop tent for winter storage. So I guess the first question is why bother? Unless you're using the tent throughout winter, you're doing winter camps and or going on trips away during the winter period, there's no reason to leave it on. It's more weight on your vehicle. If you're just a daily driver, it might affect your day-to-day miles per gallon. B, if you have somewhere warm and dry to store it, like a garage, you're also keeping the tent out of the elements. Now we found that when we used to keep our tent on the roof of the Hilux pretty much all year round, water would find its way in, and it wouldn't be able to easily escape once it's soaked into the canvas. So that was a very good breeding ground for mildew and eventually mold. So what we found is that if we took the tent off, normally once we've come back from our last trip, around about October time-ish, and do these steps that I'm about to show you, it seems to keep the mildew at bay. Plus, the reason why we take it off during the winter as well is to do a bit of maintenance on it. Either re-waterproof it, do some modifications, which we're planning on doing this year, so keep tuned for that. And just, trying to keep it clean and tidy. So with that in mind, this is how we prep our Tough Trek TT02 rooftop tent for winter storage. So the first thing is to remove the rooftop tent. Now, most of them are held on, as you probably know, by the same bracketry system. So the best thing I've found is using one of these ratchet spanners here. It's just to undo one side of the bolt and then pull the bracket out the rail on one side. Do this in all four corners, and then you can remove the other bolt by tipping the roof tent upwards. Now I normally lower my air suspension as much as I can, just to help us out on this. Might not make much of a difference, but every little helps when it comes to something like this. Between the two of you, it can be a bit awkward, but we normally get it off a bit easier than this, but I've just put a reversing camera in the way, so it's made it a bit of a difficult challenge to get the rooftop thing off now. But once it's on the garage floor, what I normally do is I open it up. So I completely remove the cover and set that to one side. We normally clean that, which I normally just use soap and water for something like that, but I need to have a look at something better. And that normally stays off while it's in storage. What you'll see me doing here is just putting a cable tie on the two halves of the ladder. That just stops it ladder sliding out when you actually pull it open, which can be a bit of a pain if you're doing it on your own. Once it's open, I normally give it a shake out and I pull out, and then I pull all the mattress and stuff out as well and get that all clean. So we've had a quick look around, and we've had quite a wet season this year when it comes to our trip. We went to lakes, the Outer Hebrides, and then some of Scotland as well, so you can imagine it's quite wet all the time. So we've done our best to dry out the tent, but this is the point where, especially as it's been packed up for a while as well, we made sure it's perfectly dry, or as dry as we could get it anyway before we packed it up. and then we opened it up near the end of our when we got back from the trip, sorry, to take all the bedding and stuff out. So, but there's only so much you can do. Quite a common area. You can see there's a little bit growing there, just a little bit of mildew starting there. We have treated this before as well, but actually, in all fairness, I mean, this was sopping wet. It's not actually done too bad this year. A little bit there that I need to treat, but other than that, I thought it was going to be a lot worse, if I'm honest with you. Once we've kind of let this dry out, we'll brush off as much as we can and get a bit of treatment on it, and then we'd have to re-waterproof it again. We might do a video about that at a later date, but from now I'm just going to clear this out, leave it open and dry out. We normally heat the garage for about 4 to 5 hours with this little heater I picked up from work. It's great, and it just keeps the garage temperature a little bit above as it is outside. Once I've done that, I've treated and cured all the mould and stuff, I normally then just pack it away, either with or without the mattress, depending if it's still in the wash. That can always be put back later. So, there you have it, how we store our Tough Trek rooftop tent for the winter. If you have any comments or questions, please put them down below. Again, this is how we do it. This might not be the perfect way of doing it. You know, other people might have different opinions. We'd love to hear them. You know, we're always learning ourselves. But keep tuned, because we're going to be doing a few modification videos on the roof tent. Some power access points and stuff like that, for charging phones, etc. So yeah, keep tuned for that. But until then, I shall see you later.